This morning, when I was in the steam room, I was all alone, just thinking to myself. And one of the thinking points were the conception of success. How success is, what it is, and how it is defined or described. You find that a lot of us operate and absorb other people's definition of success. Which I could say that in some way it robs you of your autonomy in certain things, because you always have to live up to what that is according to society's definition and not according to yours. I ask myself, what does success mean to me? What is success to me? Because I believe that these things matter. It's the small things, bro. It's the small things. Big things don't exist. Big conceptions don't exist without the tiny things. And when I thought of that, it made me think of when I used to work in retail and how I was frustrated at the concept of me not owning my time. And I thought to myself, well, that is what it is for me, amongst other things. Freedom. The freedom of movement, the freedom of thought, and the freedom of expression. That would be what success is, coupled with peace and abundance. Peace is very important. It is one of those things that you don't want to go through life without having peace. Because when things are not peaceful, when you're not at peace with anything or in your surrounding, you end up making the wrong decisions. You end up rushing certain things that you shouldn't be doing. I wasn't owning my time when I used to work in retail, bro. If you work in retail, you would know that weekends don't belong to you, because those are usually peak days. And why do I speak about this conception of success? Because I'm realizing that actually it all depends on where you are in the world, to be honest with you. Because in South Africa mostly, what we define success to be is some sense of ownership. You have to own a car, you have to own a house. At least if you are a success with those things. When you look at countries that private transportation is not a big thing, which then would mean private ownership in that space is not a thing, would you then say people that don't own properties or don't own cars, are they not successful? And do not misconcept this rendition for me saying, materialistically speaking, things don't matter. They do matter. If anything, I can go as far as saying those things provide evidence to your success. Because at the end of the day, we live in the world that we live in. We're in this earth where possessions or the illusion of them matters. But what matters more is your definition of that, what those things mean to you. I'm looking at how I live my life, and freedom is an important thing. I want to own my time. I want to spend my time in things that I want to spend my time in. I never thought I would fully immerse myself in the whole expression of find something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. When I used to work in retail, I kept, you'd look at the time, when are you knocking off? When it's a work day, you're not really enthusiastic about it. But now, I don't feel like in my profession, which is my passion, I don't feel like I'm working a day in my life. And this is one thing I notice quite often. I notice that more often than not, that because I'm comparing myself with myself or to myself and where I was, the things that I used to do. The definition of success is important, bro. It is. It needs to come from you, completely from you, because from that definition, then things can start to flow. You can then see the world in a different way. I hope also in the very same breath you can compare yourself less with other people, because they say comparison is a thief of joy, it's a thief of peace, because you're always going to compare yourself. What do you have? What don't you have? What do you have? What don't you have? Because now you have dressed success as the definition of the next person. There's this girl that I know that was writing an exam not so long ago, and she got 75%, I think, and she wasn't happy. And I asked her why. She said, I wanted 85%. And though I looked at that, I was like, hey, you seem ungrateful, which I was wrong, because that is what success is you setting a goal, bro. Is you setting an objective and working towards that. I heard the very same definition of what success is, and I think at some point, if it's not applicable now, it was at some point in my life, but I think it's more evident now than any other time, where success is knowing where you are, knowing where you are going, and working towards that. By virtue of that, you are successful. Abundance for me is making sure that I could be of assistance and help to other people. That is why I seek abundance. Abundance is having more than what is adequate. If everyone has their own, I wouldn't need abundance. But because I constantly find myself in positions and situations where people seek help from me, I believe I should work towards abundance, and which is what I'm doing right now in my life. So really, that is what I'm saying. I'm not diminishing materialistic possessions. I can go as far as saying materialistic possessions are a byproduct of what is intended to achieve, what you are meant to achieve. That is the definition from the dictionary when you look at what success is the achievement of an intended purpose. So if you intended on getting a big house, definitely you are a success in that regard. But you want to make sure that even if you subject yourself to society's definition of success, at least it's something that you have thought about. At least it's something that you have given it a lot more thought than just at first glance. And you allowed that to resonate with you and the things that you want out of life. Not just to be passive and take it as it is, because there is something you can say about that, because at the end of the day, dog, this is your life. This is what you're here for. You're here to journey along. You're here to find things. You're here to create, if not find meaning for yourself. You're here to paint your canvas, fill your canvas with strokes of brushes and colors and all of that thing. That is what it is. Yeah, I just felt I should share that. That is one thing that I thought about earlier on today. And I was like, this is something worth speaking about. What is your definition of success? What is your definition of success? Because we all don't want the same things, though. I was looking at leasing the other time, leasing a car, leasing furniture, leasing a house. Well, leasing would be renting in that respect. But because of how certain lives are set up, the people that don't stay in one place, they move around. What good does it do for them to own when at the end of the day they have to deal with the experience of having to sell those things rather than giving them away? What good does it do when you have all these things, but at the end of the day you don't have peace? You could say it's better to cry in a big house than in a shack, definitely. But I don't think it's good to be in a big house and feel lonely and cold inside. That is not the way to go, and that is not a virtuous life.